Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Australian report for Monday, September the 19th. Now, I'm starting to sort of get the idea that we will need to put this structure larger here over here for this wave B here, and look at this as a, I don't know if I've got that there, but as a wave C to the downside there, and not get this here. Now, we may get more of a bumpy ride here, so I'm just going to move these out of the way here. Well, in fact, what we can do here is just look at this being wave 1 here, and wave 3, and I'll just use this here too as wave 4. And yeah, so it'll be something, I think we're thinking something like this here, and I'll show you why next. So it's probably that we're going to see, I don't know if we can look at it as wave 1 just yet. It may be a slightly more complicated count, but whichever way we want to look at it, it will be further downside by the looks of it. And we do have a wave C there. So in the bigger picture, it would look like this here on the weekly chart here. So we would be down at the 5,650, 5,500 area at the 61.8%. That's what I'm thinking. And it may not just come down in 5 waves here. It might be more of, I mean, wave 1 here would bounce off that current low there, and then we would have wave 2 as such, and 3, 4, 5. Now I may need to change that because, but still down. It just might be that coming down from the top here, it might just be, it might be in like a double zigzag or some weird thing, you know, something of this nature here, something, yeah, it's a bit weird, but something of that nature. And the reason for that is because of how one interprets the top here for that. So when I look at the US banks, which we sort of normally line up with to a point, is that from the top over here with Goldman's and all the other banks, well, the banks that we follow, JP and Bank of America, we can count down as 5 waves, and then an ABC pattern here coming back to the 50-60%. So it really does leave it open to this leg here. We do, if that is an A wave here, then we need a C wave over here. So that's how that would play out. So we'd need to look at this as all the way down to this point here for wave 1. You know, I mean, this was quite time consuming, as you can see. So 1 and 2 here, and 1 and 2, and 1 and 2. So that little section in here, if I just bring that Morgan's across here, JP for a moment, that wave 2 there would be that wave 2 there. I'm just bringing this back again here. So we've got wave 2, then we've got wave 1 and 2, and 1 and 2 here. So that's just likely to head on down through here. And I think this is a great short trade. So you can watch the US videos about that. But yeah, to have this come down as 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5, I think we could be something like that, you know. Could just be slightly different, that's all. It hasn't really sort of broken down in a way, but you know, it has, you know, when you think about it and look at it, this is really the old high here, which created this floor in amongst here, either that low, or that one. That looks pretty good at that point there. So it's come through and it's come back and checked supply, and now it's breaking, you know, it's really checking that floor there to see if it's going to hold, you know, and it's going to go back up and retest it a bit, and then I think it's just going to drop at that point. So I've got a strong sense that this is pretty much going to be the case. We know that the move up here by the buy, you know, is in 3 waves. We know that in the US, you know, the S&P 500, for example, and so on. So we know that that move is corrective, and we knew that we're going to make new lows. It was just how we're going to go about, we're going to, you know, what type of pattern that we were going to get to get down here. But I think one needs, you know, if you're holding stocks and things, I think, you know, obviously when I show this picture here of the banks, well, then you could expect our banks to do much the same, I would imagine. They're all going to be on the same interest rate hike, and so on, as you know. So yeah, look, I think that's kind of it, really. So it's just a matter of how we get down there and so on. So just coming back to the daily chart here for a moment. We'll talk about all this more and more as we go along, and I'll see how comfortable I am sort of with this as well. But I think it's the time now to sort of reinforce this a little bit. There's lots of support at the old low here, so nothing's going to happen sort of quickly, but in some way or another, looking at this as 1 and 2 here, and then we've got to sort out this. We'll look at that today, and then coming down for 3, 4, 5 onto these lows here, and the 6,500. It's a very important number, and and it will hold this 1 and 2 here, but it will present a really fantastic opportunity to short over here for this. So that's sort of it in this picture. Now we've got to kind of figure out where we are in this little space as we go here. We know that we've got this down as 5 waves, and so now we need to understand this little leg here. I'll remove that, it's a little bit confusing. So from the bottom to the top here, we know that we're at the 60% retracement level, and we know there's going to be support at the old low and all the rest of it, and one would expect a rally off that low, and this is what we need to talk about today, how far we go with this before we go down down to the 6.5 and lower and all the rest of it at that point. So onto the 4-hour chart, which I sort of need to do a few things with now. So we can just put this wave A and B to the side here for a moment, and this wave C over here, and we'll need to look at this as 1 and 2 to the upside. So I don't really need those there, so I'll just put that in over here. Now, one of the things that I've been sort of considering is that there's different cases for different things. We've either got this as wave 1 and 2 here, and then we've either got this here as a little wave 1 here, and coming back into here for a wave 2, and then we go down from that point, or we have a slightly larger rally for this wave 2, and then we go down. One way or another, we need to sort of prepare for both of these moves before we come down for wave 3 here in this case. So let's go. So yeah, wave 1 can be here, and wave 1 can be here at this point. So moving into the 1-hour chart, just based on that, this is a situation where we can look at this here as some sort of A, B, and C back to this point here, and then down, or we'll need to look at this as 5 waves up here. So from this low here, looking at the current 1 and 2, and I'm just giving the worst case scenarios here because I need to. We may end up just dropping straight down from here, but would still it'll rally. I don't think that would go all the way up to the 61.8%, because I think that I'm thinking this block here, reflected this block, and that's where we're going to be. We're going to be in there somewhere with all of this, and looking at all these open and closes in here. I think that's about where we're going to be with this, rather than all the way up here. But we need to just put the flag in the ground somewhere at that point. So I'm just going to remove this here a little bit, just to make that bit cleaner now that I've spoken about that. So we can get 5 waves to here. This is what we've got to see about the rally, how that's going to play out. So that's it in a nutshell. I don't know how far we're going to come back up here. If you've got shorts in here, then you may want to move those, to move those out at this point. Yeah, let's just go into the 100 ticks. So counting this down all the way down here for copying this and putting this as wave 1 here. And I don't need a lot of this, so I'm just going to remove these here because I need too many objects on the chart. Just simplify that for a moment. And I don't need these. Just simplify things a little bit. Don't need that. So over to, yeah, so counting this down through to here, we're going to go to the 50 ticks for that. But first of all, we want to go to the 100 ticks as well. We've been working on that as well. So let's just get in some data on this. So in this instance here, yeah, this was kind of where we left off last time. We were counting down, and this is valid as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and then the correction here, and then 5 down here, and then coming back to that point. So coming down to here and looking at this rally to here. I mean, this is quite good, really, you know, because in terms of distance for Australia is plenty, because, you know, when I look at the US banks for a moment, this is JP here, where from the wave 2 we got down as wave 1, and then 2 here, and then 1 here, and you see here already we got the A wave, the B wave, and we got the C. It may even be finished already here, you know. I don't think it's got far, even if it's got to move up here, it hasn't got far to go. Do you know what I mean? So I don't think that we're going to go into a big rally, but I can see it, and I need to point it out. So in this case, we've got 1 and 2 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the third wave, fourth wave, and fifth wave making a new low, and the ABC here. So I don't know if I've forced it a bit. You know, it's a bit small on the wave structure here. So in the other count that we look at, we'll be looking at this here with a wave 4 over here, looking at this as wave 3 here, and all of this is wave 4, and then going down for wave 5. So today, you know, because we have to wait for the US bank. So today, I don't think that we're going to be doing much. I don't think it's going to be a very good day. You know, it's just going to be very careful about trading. I mean, if we break into new lows, by all means, you know, you want to be short, but otherwise we could just be sort of not doing much, end up being like this, just sort of hovering around somewhere as such. On the 50k tick chart coming in here, this is how I've counted it here. I think we talked about this last week, unless I've done it in the off hours, I can't remember, but 1 and 2 and 3 here, and looking at all of this as wave 4, and then down for wave 5 as 1, and then ABC back for 2. So we could be in it for that, you know. Yeah, but the trend is definitely down. It's just how far we rally is the big question, you know. So if we do rally here, that means we're going to see, you know, the banks and so forth have at least most of the stocks stand still today, you know, on that, you know. So with CBA here, yeah, it has moved down. So yeah. And we're at the 50-60. As I said before, being at the 50-60% is going to be a little bit awkward, but so we'll probably see some sort of rally over the next session or something, and then head on down. It's just got a little bit more. So we could probably look at all of this as down for 1 here and back for 2. You know, so expect a bit of a rally in that space. Iron ore over to the material sector as such, and yeah. So what I was doing here is that, yeah, I know this wave 4 here is overlapping the wave 1 over here. The A wave's done that. But I wanted to wait here because I wanted to get this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So we've got to push up here, back up into the 750 area here. And then I wanted to see what was going to happen after that push, you know, because I wanted to see, we're going to get a push up here. Then I wanted to see what's going to happen after that. We're going to get, if it's going to be bullish, we'll get an ABC pattern, and then we would coming back to the 50-60%, and then would push up. So we could look to be long at that point, and because we'd be going further up at that point. But otherwise, we would come up here for a wave C in 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then not take out that top there, and just then just continue to the downside. So I won't really know until that's there. I mean, yeah, because I can look at this here as an A wave up here and a B wave here with an A, B, C here, and then a larger move to the upside at that point. But I can't confirm that just yet. So I'm thinking that we're in a wave 4, but as I mentioned, the problem with mentioning it in a wave 4, we do have overlap there. I'll just check on the other guys here for a moment, which is this one. They're looking for a wave 4. I don't have any overlap here for this, and I've got that little 5 waves there. I could extend that out further. Of course, I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's overlapping. Anyway, still not really giving me anything at that point for that. So, yeah, so that's that. This is copper, sorry. It's just US copper here. We do have 5 waves off the low here, so I was just waiting to see. We have breached the 50-60% retracement level. I need to spend a bit. I'll look at this a bit closer in the commodities video. I can see from this top here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 coming down here with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it could be an A and a B and a C. So we just got to kind of figure out what all this is. I need to pull that apart and have a closer look here. So it could be 1 and 2 and going up from that point. It looks pretty chirpy at this point. I just need to do a little bit more work on this. I mean, it could still be bearish as well. So like the stock market, we could look at all of that coming down here as that and have an ABC pattern here and then come down. So anyway, I just need to do a bit more work on that. So I won't go into that right at the moment for this. I'll leave that bit there. So I just wanted to have a bit of a look at that, but it's not going to do much at the moment. So BHP, US BHP was down overnight as well, but that would have been a reflection of our local BHP. It has moved down on lower volume, so we'll just watch the volume today and see what occurs here. Obviously, there's going to be support at the 50-60% retracement level here for that. So there is going to be support today for this. At this point here, so we'll just see what that pattern looks like at that point. But yeah, the general consensus is based on this here is still, if this had moved down and made a new low here, then we could have called that wave C or something in here. But because it hasn't done that, we need to consider that we've got more to come down here for BHP. And RIO's moved down, and it's moved down on stronger volume, so we're sort of okay at that point with this. But once again, that's also going to find some support where it is a little bit lower. And FMG hasn't really moved much. I mean, it had more volume, but it did close up off its low there. So we'll just see how that plays out. And then we want to have a look at gold. So this is US spot gold here. Now I have to be honest here, I still don't know about this little spiky business up here for this. I mean, far as I know, we could also put wave 1 here and wave 2 here, and then look at all of this as wave 1 and 2 here as well. I mean, I could look at it as wave 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here. I could do that as well. So I just don't have any clear validation on this. I just haven't had really time to ponder the situation and look around at it that much. But I do know that we're going to go lower. I do know that I know this is not a bit of an unusual number, but the 1650, as I always say, it carries a bit more weight than the 16 and the 17. The 16 and 17 gets tops and bottoms and things, but it kind of you'll see it play out more and more here for this. But yeah, this has still got further to go down. There's no way that, even if you looked at all of this as wave 1 here and 2 here, well, then you can just imagine that we've got further to go down. If you looked at this as 1, 2, you can't look at it as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here and 5, because if you've got a fair bit of overlap at that point. Possible, but probable. So there's still more downside to come here, and we can look at this as 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So a bit of a rally to retest, and it's normal too, you know, like when a market, as I always say, this is a typical case of the bear market thing, where it comes down through a level and goes back and tests it. That's all it's doing here. So we could look at it at here, but here and here and down here, and coming back and testing that, and then failing and dropping down. So it is the place to short it up here, and that would also be in line with stocks as well. So GDX here doing much the same thing as well. It's already, when it came down, hit here and bounced, it's come through it now and it's gone back and checking it, and now it's gone through here. I want to go back and check that as well, but it's still to the downside at this point. And that will be the same with Newcrest. Now, Newcrest is also at 1650. So in this case, you can see that 1650 is important. You can also see too that this is in 3 waves here, this move here. So that means we need to take out that low here at some point. But at the same time, it's at the double bottom here. So there's going to be short covering, there's going to be buyers here, and all the basic mistakes that folks make. So yeah, so it can have a rally, but its journey is still to the downside. And then we want to move over to have a look at the lithium stocks. So I did find this particular one here, which is traded on the US market, but it's out of Chile. It's one of the biggest, I don't know how to pronounce that, Sociedad Química. Is that right? Anyway, I don't know. But anyway, I just thought I'd keep a bit of an eye on. It's got a good dividend, I noticed, because most of the if you're going to be holding a lithium stock, you really want, you want some paydays along the way. If you're holding it long term, that is. You can see here with this stock, if it's one of the biggest, the other one, of course, is ALB. But you can see how it starts to get overlapping wave structures. Like when it's moving strong here, it's it doesn't do much. But when it starts here, I mean, this can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to here, But it's at 100. Put it this way, it's at 100. It's not going anywhere for a while, so we'll probably watch this for 6 months or whatever, and we'll see what it looks like, see if it gives us a setup at this particular level, or buy some sort of pullback in there. But I just thought I'd bring it on board and have a bit of a look at it. This is another large one as well, traded on New York, like a big one. It's got a few other things in there as well. Yeah, but anyway, it's, as far as the trading levels go, it's just got the arrival here so far. So there's no trade set up here for this, but we'll just keep a bit of an eye on it. Over to the Australian one. So basically, as we've been talking about, we've been grouping them into 2 groups. There's the ones that have got this sort of nice steady 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 situation, and the other group 2 is the one that's basically nothing's stopping it, it's just powering to the upside, but they're just about running out of steam. So what we're starting to see now, or we've been talking about last week, is we started to see them slow down, and then we started to see them turn a little bit. So in a bit of a nutshell, and I'm not going to worry about it too much at this point, but we really do need to see some sort of corrective move here, and that's where we can start to look to build in on these. Now this is interesting because I could put wave 3, 4 and 5 here on this and have that there. So some of these markets have gone above their wave 3 for wave 1, and one of them I noticed was below their wave 3. So the one that's below its wave 3 is really key to telling me that this is just still wave 1 and 2 and 3 to the upside. So yeah, this one here actually. So we've got this one here, we've got 5 waves here, but we're below the old high here. So we've got to be wave 1 and ABC for 2. Do you know what I mean? So it's still early days. We've only had like a week here, compared to all of this. So we're going to be here for a while. Yeah. So anyway, everything's going according to plan. So we just keep chilling on this, and this is the group 2 one where it's still just banging it to the upside, and it will continue. This is some sort of this is 1 and 2 here, nice third wave. So this will push up here somewhere, and do its dance across here somewhere. How it goes, and it's just not ready for us to get into. I mean, you can, but if you're going to hold it for a while, you're only going to end up back where you bought it from. So it's soaked up your energy, soaked up your money. So the timing of it's not there, unless you wanted just to get out. This one here, I think it's got further to go to the upside here for this one. This will be at 1650 here, medium level, but yeah, so we'll see how it goes. I mean, it looks like it wants to top here too, based on the volume, but anyway, I'm not quite sure about that. This one here is good. This one's starting to turn, as we talked about last week. So if we could buy this one back at $12, even a bit lower, what are we looking at here really? So let's just assume for a moment that it goes, because I haven't pulled all these apart on the intraday, I'm just eyeballing them, but in a bit of a nutshell, we should be back here somewhere. That would be the buying. If we can get if we can get a very small position here, and then wait for it to build on top of 13, which is a major level, then we can just keep building up here for a bit, try to catch that third wave to the upside. And MIN here, that's coming off nicely as well. Still a bit early to do anything at this point. LEL is another one here. I'm thinking this was 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, so I still want to see it back. So buying this back at $1 would be nice. All good. This looks like it's in 3 waves here. Looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the fact that this is in 3 waves here, that means eventually we should take out the top. So this coming back to $1 should go to $2. So I think this is a fast trade for the young and the wild and the beautiful. So I think, yeah, this looks, I'm not quite sure. I mean, it looks like 1 and 2 here, but it's dropped below here. So anyway, we can't do anything with it. It's at 3 here, so there's going to be a reaction. It's going to go above the level. So you know the story. So it'll come up here somewhere. It may even make a new high above here, but basically it's going to be something like this. So there's no need to rush into any of these, because it'll just tie up your headspace. Alrighty, that's the lithium. I do want to have a look at the bond yields for a second. So they're still chuffing to the upside, so you can expect rates to go up and all the rest of it. Yeah, so we've got that nice, retest support here. It does look like, though, as I mentioned before, it could be 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, or it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, but there is overlap on 4. So, yeah, not quite sure. I'd have to have a closer look at it, but really, I don't think anybody's really trading it. It's just like, are yields going up? And yep, they're going up. So that's that. And over to the dollar. So I really still haven't resolved the dollar situation, the US dollar situation. So this is the US dollar situation. I have gone back. I know I've gone back on my word. But yeah, I just think 5 waves here is the best fit for this. Coming down here, I'm not seeing this as a really good impulse wave. So I'm thinking, if it was going to be wave 3 here, and wave 4 over here, I'd have to look at this as an A wave here, a B wave here, and a C wave down here for wave 4. Either that, or we've got this wave 5 top is in here. So we're either coming into wave 4, or we've got this wave 5 top is in here. I mean, it's possible to look at this top here as wave 1, 2 of a bigger picture, but I won't go there today for that. And that means that it's the same thing I'm having with the pound, really, because the pound, I had this as wave 4 with the pound, and then looking at it as 1 and 2, and then 1 and 2 in line with stock, and which is possible and doable. So I'll just keep an eye on that. But what about, because this counted as 5 waves here, and so I'm thinking, well, could it be an A wave here, then an ABC for the B wave, and then 5 waves up for the C wave here, and then go down into wave 5. So they're still having that wave 4 there, which in turn would make the US dollar index as wave 4 here, right? For the euro, while we're just sort of here, I mean, once again, you know, I can't really, I can't call that in for wave 4 here either, but I can't get a bullish move here. I was just going to wait to see. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for C of 2, so wave 1 here, and then an A and a B and a C. So I'll just wait to see how that goes and see if it comes back down here. It really doesn't want to leave this parity here, so it's like something's keeping it there, but you know, if that low gets breached, well, then we can go short on that. But where does that leave, you know, our market? You know, I'm not quite sure. Like I could count down our stock market. I can count wave 1 to being here, or I can count it to being here. So I don't really know at this point. So I don't really have any sort of answers. I mean, we could have a low in place, but you know, I don't know. Yeah, so look, I'm really sorry. I just can't help at this. The penny hasn't dropped for me. If you've got a count and you're confident about it, please send it over and give us a hand. Cheers.